Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I trust all is well with you, and I can tell you that yesterday was a day for rejoicing over the vanquishing of a rebellious regulator. However, today we must return to our labors, as there were certain unfavorable aspects, things that were less than ideal for XRP investors, most crucially for Ripple, and for the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Let's take in the big picture, and there's no denying that this was a resounding triumph, one that beyond my own lofty expectations. However, there are still certain details that need to be covered. Before we get into that, I noticed something. Tell me if you've noticed the same thing. For some reason, we kept coming with rulings like library that just didn't make sense. We advocated for stricter regulations and more clear laws. What did all the anti-crypto lawyers and government officials do? What are these folks saying to us out there? The rules are unmistakable. The court has spoken, swallow your pride. And now that everything is on the line if they lose in court, when it actually matters? Then what exactly are they saying? This doesn't add up, you know. This is a terrible decision. We require new regulations and clarification, such as which one is it? They always seem to come back with another argument, you know? There must be safeguards for people's investments. You know, different standards are needed. That's exactly what we've been hoping for. Yes, I get it. But the judge did not let her feelings about how the world should be affect her decision. She decided the case solely on legal grounds, as the law currently stands. Indeed, she should have done just that. And now that the other side has suffered such a heavy defeat, I pray that they begin to seriously harass Congress in order to annoy the people they should have been irritating all along, rather than business owners and financiers. Before we get into the meat of this video, I also want to address the current value of XRP. Even though we're in the midst of a bear market and this does carry a fair amount of risk, I assured them that the price of XRP will rise. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it gained further momentum and kept going. However, you should set reasonable goals. At this very moment, the market is in a downturn. Understand the climate you find yourself in and know that there will be constraints here. Others you know would argue otherwise. What is 8? Is it like 30 cents, polka dots for $5, etc.? But prices may be climbing, but we are still in a bad market. There was a time when XRP's market valuation was more than 4 times that of Cardano's, and on a single day it gained as much as 70%. It's entirely logical that people would cash out after buying at cheaper prices in anticipation of this outcome and realizing large returns in a short period of time. Furthermore, there will be a ceiling on your success. Given the current state of affairs, it is impossible to undo the harm done over the course of 3 years with only one judgment. The goal here is to create the groundwork for future expansion and ensure a level playing field. It was all about that last night. I don't know exactly where we'll land, but we'll find a comfortable cruising altitude. Then it will be a matter of setting the stage for imminent explosive expansion. Among all cryptocurrencies, XRP has the potential to be one of the best. You can forget about a level playing field when you have us floating about in cash. We weren't even permitted to play the last time around. And we still did better than many other kryptons. Looking at how high the market cap went, which is very remarkable, demonstrates incredible decentralization and large overseas support, helps us grasp the truth of our current situation and its implications for the future. That's really important. Again, we might go higher or lower, and I think I've warned you about the possibility of either outcome. If you're looking to invest in cryptocurrencies, I wish you the best of luck in the near term. What aspect of the summary decision would be the most adverse for XRP investors if we actually unpack everything? In any case, Judge Torres says that Ripple can sell on the secondary market anywhere in the world without fear of repercussions. They have the most XRP, as you now know. Some of it is, indeed, safely tucked away in escrow. But they've got a lot there, and they can sell it whenever they choose. Besides, another billion are being produced every month, giving them even more options. It's been obvious to us for quite some time. We've invested in this particular game. Like how Elon Musk controls too much of Tesla, De Beers controls a large portion of the diamond market. Should you trust Ripple to responsibly manage your funds? They have a lot of XRP due to the fact that some degree of trust exists from that perspective. And there are dangers involved. Our best case scenario would have been a judgment that prohibits the sale of XRP while allowing its use in productive applications like the ODL, without having to sign up. This is yet another example of the world not being how I would for it to be. They have every right to market their product if they so choose. The judge did the right thing, we obtained the correct legal ruling, but it may not be the best outcome for XRP investors. Judge Torres made the right call, and I applaud her. But as an XRP investor, they admit that it could be better if you stole a lot of that XRP and made it impossible for them to sell onto the market so directly. We don't have to sugarcoat the truth. Now, from the point of view of Ripple's, well, they had some Section 5 violations, so quite a deal. I think 780 million worth of XRP, that was judged unlawful. There will be a really large penalty there. Nobody loves it when they lose out, especially when they thought they were being frugal by going straight to institutions to make their sales of futuristic wares. What matters now is not how the past handled the checkbook or Ford goods. It sounds like American oddsoul, which is not something you want to hear coming from Ripple's XRP. Therefore, their target audience has to, transfer payments via the open market. How much of an issue is it that they couldn't get their hands on the XRP directly? I can't say, I have no access to the ODL server-side metrics. But that's an extra hurdle that Ripple probably would have preferred not to have to jump. We all agreed that ODL was the most obvious example of a scenario where it wouldn't make sense to refer to the transaction as an investment contract. But I get the impression that the judge is just saying, look, if you're paying Ripple money and somehow collecting XRP, I'm not going to get into how long you retain it or what your objectives were, that's going to be a securities violation. It's severe, but at least it makes sense. Looking at the industry as a whole, this should be applicable to any cryptocurrency initiative. It is okay for Cardano to sell ETH on the open market to the Ethereum Foundation. But herein lies the rub. The SEC may be able to argue, well, those are the facts and circumstances for Ripple and XRP, but this is far from certain. However, here we have distinct ones and suit that project. They have access to $200 million in cash on hand and a judge of equal caliber. If the SEC puts in the same shoddy effort on the case, they might as well expect the same outcome. However, assurance cannot be given because it is not written down. This isn't anything that's codified in the law. Only Ripple and XRP are relevant here. And that's bad news for the whole crypto industry. In my opinion, the SEC will be deterred. It will prevent them, in my opinion, from disrupting crypto on a large scale. Until we get clarification from Congress, however, there is still uncertainty for business owners. It's still fair game, and they can do a lot of damage if they have the chance. The lack of real closure is a further drawback. It remains to be seen whether or not the SEC will file an appeal of this ruling. But I would tread lightly there, as they have racked up an impressive number of victories. They have a plethora of strong cases and one weak one. Do you want to use this to establish a new standard for the worst-case scenario? I can't say. Mark Feekle says they will, and I am aware that many other lawyers have made similar claims. That's a scary idea, and since you don't know how rapidly crypto rules can be brought out in this country, you should be very wary about elevating it. And if they do it again, well, you know what happens then. The judgment that XRP is not a security will not compel exchanges to slow down their operations. We are in a position of strength as well. Moreover, you, Taurus, shall pass judgment. His decision was rational, lawful, and reasonable. So, how likely are you to succeed? You could be lucky and have a judge who agrees with you. I wouldn't put money on it though. They are unable to cause us damage in the same way. Don't misunderstand me. There is potential danger in filing an appeal. I hope they appeal it since the stakes are low compared to the original action and because by the end of 2020 they will no longer be able to cause the same level of damage. I need this to be established as fact because I'm tired of skeptics pretending it isn't so. This is something we've been arguing for. Cryptocurrencies are not a security in and of themselves. Furthermore, the SEC should have no say over secondary market trading because it does not involve a security. And now we're here, in the major case that really matters, against the defendant who has the money to put up a solid defense. Taurus, the judge, sided with a group of crypto guys. And not the stupid lawyers who think they can make up their own laws merely because maybe we should have rules and then impose them on the market without consulting anyone. Not my court, you don't. The SEC executes the law, the judge spat in the SEC's face. Their own writing isn't original. Threw at everything. It's about time they got a taste of their own medicine and instituted some of the rational restrictions, clarity, and new legislation we've been asking for. When they say things like we're going to win on appeal, I don't believe them. Can you imagine the consequences? Even if we tried to argue that the judge's classification of XRP as a security was incorrect, everyone else in the industry was selling securities. The appeal process will tell. On Twitter, they would mock us to no end. When they saw us on YouTube, they would have laughed at us. I refuse to take it any longer. I simply don't have the bandwidth to deal with it right now. An appeal is expected. I wish you the best of luck in anything you do. If you're brave enough to actually show up, which I seriously doubt you do, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you later, bye.